That was loud.
Guys, thank you so much for coming out today. I'm really excited to share some of these secrets that I've been holding in from you all. No, I'm just kidding. Some of the things that I've learned from using Instagram to convert business in the past year. I've been on Instagram my whole life because I'm 24, but using it for business is a different beast in itself. So really committed to it. Earlier this year, really it was like February that I decided like, okay, I'm done cold calling people. I don't like the idea of door knocking.
Wait,
What's easy and intuitive to me, and it's Instagram and social media. So this is specifically about Instagram, but you can really take these things that I'm telling you and use them on TikTok, Facebook, insert
Why
any
is this
social
not
media
working?
platform here. But Instagram's my one thing. So I'm gonna use it all in, context of Instagram, but however you use it, please do. So like I said, when we got started, if you need to use the bathroom throughout this, please go. The bathroom code for the men and the women's, that was for ladies who ran out of duck juice, is right there on the board, and the Wi-Fi password's all lowercase if anyone's not on it. Please feel free to join. But we will get started once John Missile can get my thing up here.
yeah. Why is it? Okay, there we go.
Got it?
Yep.
Can people in Zoom land see the PowerPoint? Brian, Bart, can you give me a thumbs up if you're?
Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Thanks for being here, Brian.
Hey, thanks for hosting. This is great.
Of course, thank you everyone on Zoom land for being here. I appreciate that. I have someone that I met at KWYP, Madison. Thanks for being here. She's an agent in South Carolina. Hey, thank you. So let's get started. Shameless plug, if you don't follow me yet, please pull out your phone and follow me on Instagram. I want to not only share these things that I do, but when you watch them in live action, maybe they will sink in and you'll get them. Two, I follow a lot of agents and steal from them. So there's no shame in it. Please do. Please do. Okay. Thanks, John Missile, for doing all these things.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
There we go.
Okay, all right, so here we go. Converting business from Instagram. Your followers are your friends, and you can turn them into closed business. And here's the way I do it. Next, please. Okay, let's just set the scene. Come on in. Here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to go over professional accounts. We'll go over, should you make another account or did you use your same account? I know, I got you. The 4 C's, we'll go into what those are to me and how I use them. The content to conversation conversion, I suppose, word that I should have used just flew out of my head, but how I use content to create conversation. We'll go through that and then we'll leave room for questions at the end. Okay, let's start it.
Next.
Yes, please. Okay, let's start with, I realized when I made these slides, I jumped. But let's start with this little question. Should I make a separate Instagram account for business? Here is my opinion, because it's really up to you. I did because I had an Instagram account of my own that was just, for college, and I've had it since middle school. So I was like, I'm kind of nervous. No, literally. Yeah, so I decided that it would be super embarrassing if I posted real estate things on my regular Instagram page. Okay, that's how I felt. I was afraid of judgment. I was fearful of people unfollowing me. So let me make another one. So Home with Lauren was born. I then went to my regular Instagram account and followed everyone who follows me on my regular account on Home with Lauren. So it's the same people. It's mostly the same people on both. But I've now embraced the 2 separate profiles, and I usually just use Home with Lauren. My other one is just kind of there. So if you choose to do that, do it. There's really no rhyme or reason why you would or wouldn't. That was just kind of my progress with, where am I going to post things? I was embarrassed that my friends would see them on my regular Instagram. So it's a decision for you to make. I don't have pros or cons. I think just make one, have one. If anyone doesn't have an Instagram account in here, make one. That is step 1. Okay. Once you make an Instagram account and you just designate it as the one you're going to use for your social media, your business social media, I want you to make it a creator or business account. what does this mean? And if you don't think you're one of these yet, whip out your phone, I've got the steps right here for how to do it. What this does is it makes your account, what's the word? It makes your account able to be using reels, using audios. It has its pros and cons, where a regular account doesn't have all these cool features that we're going to talk about. Now, the difference between a creator account and a business account, they're more or less the same, but when you're a creator, you can use all those cool trendy audios and your own music out of your Apple library or your Spotify on your videos, on your reels. So I would suggest you have access to that, because we know that people like looking at little dancey videos with nice audios and trending things like TikTok and stuff like that. So be a creator or a business account. It will help you push your content farther. Yes.
If you have a business account and can you just switch it over to a creator account?
Yeah, you can switch between them. The one difference that I know is that the business account, you can send targeted ads to people who visit your page.
Yes.
Where on creator, you can't do that. But then on business, you can't use the audios. So it's like, it would really be nice if they just kind of used it all together in one. But Instagram is always changing things and doing stuff. So right now it's better. So if you don't, here's those steps. If you haven't done it, do it. Super easy. Next, my friend. And when you do this, you then have access to this professional dashboard. I didn't even know it existed. I just looked past it all the time. But Rob said, get real with your numbers. Look at Instagram. It literally tracks it for you. Instagram tracks the data for you. In this professional dashboard, you can, next please. You can see things like, who are your followers, the age range of people that follow you. This is really important. Who are you talking to? Who's looking at you? Who's following you? Know that. The split between gender. So it looks like I have more female followers than male. Okay, so that influences how I talk and what I'm posting, right? And then when my followers are the most active, and you can, this is just a screenshot, but you can scroll through here and you can see on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Instagram has really helpful data to help you post where people are looking and post the people who.
Where do you find that?
On the professional dashboard. Go back. The last slide. If you open up your.
I did.
Yeah, wait, everyone open up your Instagram right now and see if you have. Well, yeah. Keep clicking. So here's the thing with the professional dashboard. You can keep clicking and keep clicking and keep clicking, and it'll take you to even more data, even more data, even more data. So spend time playing around with this. It'll show you down to your stories, how many people clicked forward and how many people clicked back. Everyone see it? No, only if you have a business. But if it's just a personal account, they don't give you this data. That's why you should switch to one of the two. Creator.
Oh, yeah.
Creator, I use the creator account because I use the audio this on my reels. Anyone have questions about the dashboard?
I do have a question like that.
Yeah.
It looks like this. Should I keep?
Yes, if you just keep clicking. Just keep clicking.
Yeah, okay, that's it.
You see?
Yeah.
And you can click even farther from there. So just spend some time, spend half an hour clicking around.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay. Got it? Sort of, kind of? Yes? Okay. Does anyone have questions about what they're seeing on the professional dashboard? Yes, Rob?
My most viewed is you, me.
Was that?
10,000 views?
I'm trying to figure that out right now, like.
It was her, John, and
Isaiah.
Oh, that's real? My very
Does
first-
anyone on Zoom have questions about the professional dashboard? Hear people chatting back there.
So you're 35 to 44.
All right.
Which is 25 to 34.
Yes,
25 to 34. Well, this girl right here is like, I think she's your age. Who's she reaching?
I know, he doesn't-
25 to 34, 18 to 24.
You know, nice man lose.
Some definitely gonna lose.
Yeah. So professional is like the big heading, and then business and creator are the subheadings.
Oh, I see.
So if you are a business or a creator account, Instagram starts tracking this data for you and throws it in that professional dashboard. Okay, and I pulled out the three most basic and important things to look at, because we're talking about making content and posting and things like that, so I want you to see these things, but spend 20 minutes looking through it. It shows you so much data. Any other questions before we move forward on the professional dashboard?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Non-followers. Aquí has number like followers and non.
So your non-followers are people that saw a piece of your content who don't follow you.
Oh, I see.
So you can see your reach beyond the people who have already chosen to follow you.
So what do you do with that?
So Instagram doesn't tell you who those non-followers are, but you can use that non-follower data to see, is my content talking to the masses, or am I just talking to my little bit of people? So this data is really helpful. The things that reach more non-followers means more people interacted with it, more people saved it, liked it, commented on it. That means it's pushing it farther.
That's very cool.
Cool, right? Okay, you guys get it?
That's the one right there.
A lot.
So.
Okay. Take some time, take some time to look at the dashboard, ask me questions if you have them, but we're gonna move to the next thing, what time is it? Keep me on time, yes.
11:11.
Okay, so look
Can I
at
say
these
one
things.
quick thing? I'm sorry. Do people, I cannot get to the chat, so somebody put a chat in there. I can't see it. So if you have a question, just unmute and ask your question, please.
Yes,
All right, you want a nice one?
yes, please. All right, so that was just some basics on your account. We're good, we're all good, we're gonna keep moving, and sometimes the title is really distracting, so thanks, Luke. Okay, let's talk about the 4 C's. Let's talk about, this is kind of my condensed version of why do you even post on Instagram? For what reason? And I think we all know it is to get business, to close business. But this is kind of the cycle that I've seen and followed. So you post content, right? The content's great, people are watching it, but it's not really anything unless it's creating conversation. And we're gonna get into that. That's why those 2 are red. That's what this whole class is about. The content to conversation piece. After you converse with someone, we all know you're working on converting them. That doesn't always happen overnight, right? But you're converting. And when you can convert that business and get it to close, then you've made this whole circle go through, and it's very exciting, okay? So this is just like my basic model, really. But we're gonna get into the content conversation part of it. So we'll start with content. Why do you post content on Instagram anyway? You can probably see what I have, but someone tell me, why do you post content on Instagram anyway?
Gain traction.
Educate, what was that?
Gain traction.
Gain traction, what else?
Stay top of mind.
Stay top of mind, right? That's the name of the game. Top of mind, omnipresence, being everywhere. When you're online and you're posting, you're able to be omnipresent. People can't ignore you if you're always in front of their face. And we all know everyone's looking, so why not be there? Okay, so the way I broke it down was to educate and add value, which we know is the bread and butter of converting something, educating, pouring in, sharing stories and entertaining. It's not fun when it's always just like, this is what a down payment is. This is what escrow is, right? You want to kind of make it exciting. You want people to be invested in the journey you're on. So sharing stories. I talk about my clients. I talk about the things we do, the successes, the failures, not just the good stuff, but all of it. All right. And then the get to know me stuff. You don't just want to be a one note. You just don't want to be the realtor. Of course you want to be that, but you want to be you. You want people to be like, oh, I know her. Oh, she has that cute little cat named Millie. I see her post all the time, right? Oh, she went to Spain. I saw that post, right? You want people to know who you are outside of work. That you become a whole person then, not just like There's this realtor who's always supposed to know the timeline, right? Mix it up, make it exciting. Okay, so that's why you post in the first place. Next, please. This is like the number one question I get from everyone. I don't know what's a post, Lauren? What do I post? Keep it simple. Remember that all day, every day, we're talking about very complex, complicated, we're problem solving, we're talking about future, where's the business going, all this stuff. And everyone else out there who doesn't do this for a living has no freaking idea what's going on. Don't forget about the basics. I probably posted 25 times about what a down payment is. It's because my followers don't really know. My followers are mostly first-time home buyers, some first-time sellers, right? But really, it's people in their early 20s that are just trying to get a grip on all of this. So who's your audience? What do they need to know? What are the basics that they're probably missing? Yeah, maybe they've done a transaction once or twice in their life, but that was 5-10 years ago. The market was different. So tell them the basics of where the market is now. Tell them how the business is moving now, because it's going to be different, than where they were when they first bought, correct? Right? So don't forget the basics. When you need to post something, that's so easy. What is a down payment? How do you save for a down payment? Stuff like that. Don't forget that stuff. Go there first. Because the complicated stuff, people get lost in the sauce. They don't know the lingo we use. They don't know the stuff we're looking at, all of the data. Remember the basics, okay? R&D. This is my favorite thing that I learned. Excuse me, let me get a drink of water because I'm R&D. Who knows what that means? What was it? What is it, Captain? Rip off and duplicate. Oh, rip off and duplicate. Don't reinvent the wheel. There's probably someone out there who's already made the piece of content on what is a down payment, or how do you save for one, or whatever. If you like what they made, you're like, man, that resonated with me. Save it and make it. Easy as that. I wouldn't say do word for word, but I actually just did that the other day. Hopefully that guy never, hopefully he never finds my page. But the one I posted about 4 ways for like a 0% down or a low down payment, I stole from a lender, some guy who works like Nebraska. It's never find me. But I was like, this was good information. It was concise. I was like, my people need to hear this. So I just stole it, right? So do that. Follow other agents. Follow me. Steal my stuff. It's not original. It's not. My personality is original in it, but the content itself is not original. We all know most of the things that I'm posting, right? So when you're like, oh my God, what am I gonna make today? I don't know what to post. Watch some videos. Follow other lenders, agents. Everyone's getting social. Follow people. Steal their stuff. Easy as that. And I just gave you free pass to steal mine. Do it. I don't care. All right. Show your personality. That's what I'm saying is original about this content. It's who I am. It's authentic to me. I say it the way I would say it. I talk the way I talk. Do that. Be you and talk the way your people want to hear it. We'll kind of get into that. But show your personality, right? That's what makes it not copying all the way, right? Because it's yours. So show your personality. And remember when you're making something, would I watch this video? Would I spend 15-30 seconds watching this video? We all know everyone's attention spans like this. If you don't hook them in the beginning, they're swiping away and someone else will hook them and tell them. Don't let someone else hook and tell your sphere what you should be telling them, right? Be that person, be front, be present. Now, some people are always going to swipe away because they don't feel like it's relevant to them. That's okay. Someone's watching. Rob told me once, he's like, Lauren, what does your people need to hear today? What do they need to hear today? Post that. And I was like, oh, you're right. When I'm like, posting what's important, what's relevant, I get lost in my own head. What do they need to hear today? Someone needs to hear what you have to say today. So just make it and post it, right? And then I found something and I was like, no, I'm just gonna make this something easy. Like, what is cash to close? Like, my followers believe that cash to close is a bag of cash that they carry to the hills. Without me telling them, they don't know that that's false, right? So be that person, okay? And always remember, perfection is the enemy of progress. I'm gonna tell this funny story. The first video I ever made, I was still living at home and I spent 6-7 hours up in my room. Oh my God, it's like a 3.5 minute video. It shouldn't have taken me 7 hours. but I was so worried about saying every word right and not tripping over myself a little bit. And so I finally made it. My mom came in like 3 times. She's like, "You okay? Do you need a break? Do you need water?" Do you need water? Do you need, and I was like, "No, I just want to get it done." Right, and now I look back at it, and it's funny, like, my hair is like all frizzy, because I've been sitting there for 7 hours, I'm like, you can tell I'm sweating, like, but it's okay, because I needed to have that kind of struggle to be like, one and done, one take and done. And I still can't quite do one take and done right now, but I've gotten a lot better. So as you do it, you'll get more comfortable. Don't worry if you trip up. Don't worry if you miss a word or two. Just make it and post it. Okay, and remember, people don't want to watch it 15. And it's probably lower than that now that we're TikToking, right? So don't pick yourself apart. You don't have to be perfect. I've got pimples in mine. I've got my hair's up. It's greasy. I'm sweating. Just post it. Just make it and post it. People who follow you need to hear what you've got to say, and you want to be authentic. So don't worry, right? Perfection is the enemy of progress. Next, please, my friend. Know your audience. This is huge. The only reason why I'm converting business from Instagram is because I'm talking to my people. Like I said, my people are first-time home buyers. They need to know everything. But your people might be downsizers or upsizers or, I don't know, investors. Who else is out there? Who else are we talking to? Sellers, I don't know, people in getting divorced, going through hard financial times. I don't know, you name it, they're out there. And they're probably potentially in your sphere. So know your audience. Create content that is catered to your audience, which is why I always go back to that professional dashboard. I know exactly who's looking at me and following me by the age, it even tells you location. I've got some random person from Portugal following me. Right? Can't really help them, but it shows me that data. So I'm like, okay, I know who my people are and where they are. Right, so I can always be talking about Northern Virginia because most of my followers live in Northern Virginia. That keeps it easy for me. I know this like the back of my hand, right? So know your audience. Talk the way they talk. Like I said, talk the way I talk. I curse. I trip over my words. I say yo. That's how I talk. So I'm not gonna not do that. There's a way to be professional about it, right? I'm not always like B and F and all this, like, no, right? When it's natural, sometimes it comes out. Sometimes I hold back too, it's okay. But talk the way your people talk. I use lingo that my age group uses, right? You guys might not know what lit and all that stuff is. Don't say it then.
Yeah, if I say lit, it's not coming off.
See? So talk the way your people talk, all right? Share what's relevant to them. We kind of went through this. Are they upsizers, downsizers, buyers, sellers, whatever it be? Share that information. You know a whole heck of a lot more than they do about whatever you're talking about because you do this every day, right? And they don't. They might think they know more than you, but we all know that they don't, all right? And debunk myths. This is like the biggest thing. Everyone in my sphere thinks, I can never afford to buy a house in Northern Virginia. I just can't do it. Let me tell you all the reasons you can and how you can do it. It might not happen overnight, but you can. You'll get there, right? You can do this. So whatever your audience needs to hear, that's holding the fact that, oh, my house isn't going to sell for top dollar anymore. Tell them how you have a listing plan that will sell their house for top dollar, regardless of how the market's changing. Tell them how the market's changing, right? And tell them you can still sell right now, whatever, you can still buy right now. We're all saying, date the rate, marry the house. Tell them all that stuff, right? Maybe say it a little differently. I get a little sick of the date the rate, marry the house. No way to say the same thing, but let's do that. So know your audience. Know these things, use these when you're starting to create content. Always come back to these. What's relevant for my people, right? And don't forget to stay true to you, like I said. You don't have to be all buttoned up and professional with the blazer on. If that's not who you are, that's not who I am. So I'm not going to pretend that every day I walk in this office in some red bottoms in a blazer, because I don't, right? So don't be afraid. People want to connect with you. And sometimes when you're too like buttoned up, it's not personable, right? So just remember that. That'll make sense. Any questions about audience and content and anything? Any thoughts?
I looked and noticed that 65% of my followers are men. Right, 35 for women.
Mhm.
I would have thought it would have been the other way around. But
It's hard to know, right? How do men talk? How do men consume media? I don't know.
Well, can I ask a question about that? So Rob, what is your content? Mostly investors, right?
yeah,
And
a
so,
lot of
right,
investment agent.
a lot of investor agent and what I'm hearing, and I'm could be completely wrong, but.
You're always right, and Kevin also.
Eh, I think that right now, there are more male investor in real estate than female
Yeah.
investor in real estate, so that's why.
And so maybe you make some content on kick-ass female investors like Naya and stuff, and you lift them up and you use your platform to lift them, and then you'll get more female followers.
Good idea.
Great
Y'all-
idea.
If y'all need some ideas, just throw something out and I can spit it out. These two, I got that. I'm like. Thank you. Any other thoughts, ahas, anything from this? I'm talking a lot, so feel free. to Interrupt me and give me a break.
I have a question.
Yeah,
What do you think is too long? So you said the attention span thing, like,
yeah.
what's too long?
That's a good question. I struggle with that because sometimes I feel like I have things to say that don't fit in a quick clip. And I don't want to write a caption that's this long, I was gonna read that.
Yeah.
So the kind of the theory that I run on is the people who want to watch the whole 1:30 or 3-minute video will. Sometimes I do, something catches my attention and I watch it all the way through and it's like 5 minutes, like, whoa, that was long. But you know what I'm saying? So, quick. I don't-
Hook 'em in maybe at least in the beginning.
Hook them and then keep them watching, and the people who care will watch all the way through. You might not ever know that they watched it all the way through until they're like, hey, I've been watching all your videos, and you're like, sweet, right? Someone's watching. So I don't know, I'm not sure there's like a science to what's too long, what's too short.
Could you split them in parts? Like hook them and then see if they can convert to the second,
Yeah.
maybe.
I think you can get real creative. Yeah, you can make one and be like, follow along for part 2. I see those. And I look at part 2, right? I want to know I'm invested at that point. You never do. See, some people do.
There never comes up. When you're looking at like the data.
Mhm.
Does it show you specifically to each video or is it just overall? So like, like if you do a 7-second video versus a 1-minute video.
Yeah.
The engagement.
Yeah.
Variance on those two.
That professional dashboard is your friend. You can watch, look at your stories and see how many times people clicked forward, like through it, or clicked back into it. Like it caught enough people's attention to click back and watch it again or look at it again. That's pretty sweet. So the things that do well with how many people view it or interact with it, like, okay, let me keep doing stuff like this, right? Or how many people clicked back. Look how much people clicked back on that video or that story post. What's that? Let me post more of that stuff, right? So like I said, don't ignore that professional dashboard. It's got a lot of good stuff on there. And it shows you reels, interactions, regular posts, interactions, stories. So really all the data from Instagram is in there.
I've seen, I know that like some content creators, when they post like videos and they're like showing you, like they're putting words up there, they do it really fast.
Yeah.
Intentionally, so that you have to go back and watch it again, because
Yeah.
then that registers with Instagram as engagement.
More people watching.
Pausing it.
Yeah, that's why they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they do it on purpose.
Yeah.
It forces you to stay on that post, right? Because if you don't, you'll miss what
You
it's.
miss it, right? You're like, oh,
Yeah,
this is right.
like top 5 places to travel, and then it goes like really quick, it just.
Yeah.
I just misread that.
Yeah, but it's smart.
Well-
I bet Instagram knows when you screenshot too.
Yeah.
But, right, they're collecting that data, so, yeah, it's all a psychology game, right? Just play, how would you wanna interact online? What would make you stop and watch? What would make you stop and screenshot, or would it be, post that stuff? Maybe, right? You know how you interact, so that's probably how your sphere interacts too, more than likely. Any other thoughts or questions? Thanks for all your chat. Appreciate it. Okay, next please. What time is it? Oh.
I do have one quick question.
Yes,
So I am posting to Instagram.
yes.
How many times a day? How
Ah,
many, like, do I need to do before I get somebody to actually respond?
Or is there a risk of overkill and people unfollowing you or something like that, you think?
well, here's the deal. People are gonna unfollow you no matter what. That's just something you swallow, right? You're like, oh man, 28 people unfollow me this month. I'm like, whatever, right? Like, so I think there is overkill, and I think about how much you would want to see one person posting on your timeline. Oh God, it's like a fifth post today. What is so annoying me? So you break people unfollow. So, no, I think I usually try to post once a day. I've not quite gotten consistent yet, but I'm working on it. And I've seen other creators who do it at a really high level do 2 a day. But we'll talk about stories, because I think stories are really where the real money is. The content you post on Instagram, we'll talk about it. Let me not get on this.
But you're saying you have to be consistent, at least once a day.
Well, and I don't even think it has to be once a day. I think you should post more often than not. But I don't think if you feel like once a day is intimidating, don't start with the expectation that you're gonna post Monday through Sunday a piece of content. Ease into it. Yeah,
I would say it's like anything in life, it's a habit, right? So
yeah,
start once a week. And
Yeah.
then say like, can I do it twice a week? And can I do it 3 times a week? And then just set that. And then, I believe overkill is the way to win the game.
yeah,
So, the best content creators are posting Rita 500 times a month. I'm sorry, a week.
Right.
But on different platforms, not on just one. She's just talking about Instagram, right? So
yeah.
Just not piggyback.
Speak up,
So
thank you.
so the Instagram app, it's already saturated. It's been around for an X amount of time to where
A long
it's
time.
yeah, so
That's
like
nice.
probably something new is gonna pop up here really soon anyway. But to your question, it's not how many times you post. I don't think so much. It's more like the content, how you deliver it. That's gonna
Yeah.
kind of make it dry. So like, yeah, like Rod said, be consistent, because that's a lot of part of it too. Because you have to keep the craft because it's so saturated.
Yeah.
But if you're posting, like, if we all post the same Blender video, but Lauren comes at it creatively differently, it's gonna go more than if you were to post 5 in the same day.
Got it.
If that makes sense.
Does that make sense? Anyone have questions about that?
Yeah, I mean, their algorithms are gonna push yours to the top, so even if you are posting too much per day, that they're not gonna see it unless Instagram deems it relevant, so I think.
Yeah.
the risk of posting is.
And they deem it relevant by people interacting with it.
Yeah.
Likes, comments, saves, sends, people can send your post to. Your thing.
Get that off.
People can send it to each other through DM, so all of that engagement shows Instagram who people are watching. And who people want to see, and that's what pushes yours. So sometimes I have like 600 views on my story, and it's because I posted some picture of like a beautiful house, and I'm like, would you buy this? And people are like, yeah, oh, yeah, right? And then sometimes I post things and like 200 people watch it, but that 600 people watching is because people are interacting with it, so it's pushing it farther and farther and farther. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So do you like, is it wise to contact like your inner sphere, like your friends and family, and be like, hey, I'm gonna start doing a bunch of these. Can you please go and like and comment on all this stuff for me?
Yeah, you want
To
people
help get that out more?
want to work with people who they perceive as successful. So when you have people commenting on your stuff, like, the hands emoji or hearts, people are like, oh, people like her, people like him, they like this stuff. I want to be in on it, right? So when you have your low hanging fruit, your sphere, your family, your best friends doing that, people don't know that they're your best friends, right? They just think, oh, someone's watching, I'm watching too. So yeah, totally. I think he and I have a thing, every time he and I post, I'd save, sometimes I comment, he does the same on mine. And that helps our interaction. I do it with your guys's now, because I said, will you do it on mine? And they say, yes, so I do it on theirs, right? So totally, it is good to rally the troops.
One more, I'm sorry, to get you off track. As far as other social media channels.
Yeah.
right? So I'm a bigger Facebook person than
Yeah.
I am Instagram, and I'm learning Instagram the way I go. However, my clientele is older. And so this leads me to, should I copy
all the stuff I post on Facebook to Instagram.
Why not?
That's the difference.
There's no difference, I say, why not?
You can post on Instagram and
It can-
it'll automatically.
Is there a way to build, does that build credibility? in
Sure.
Instagram, even though it's coming from the same, and Instagram is owned by Facebook, we get that, but does it
Sure.
push that thing through?
You can't go Facebook to Instagram, you're.
No, you can't.
Yeah. To Facebook.
Yeah,
Got it.
so your like statuses on Facebook are gonna stay on Facebook, but if you post a photo, you can, I mean, might as well. Here's the thing, why not have someone see it 2 times instead of 1? Right, maybe they scrolled by it the first time, or on Facebook, it wasn't on their timeline, but on Instagram it is.
Or it's the demographic, some people just don't do Facebook and
Yeah.
only Insta or vice versa.
Yeah, and like I said in the beginning, I think all of this stuff that I'm saying can be used on other platforms. I'm just putting in the Instagram bubble because that's how I do it, but you do all this on Facebook or TikTok.
One thing I found though is if you do it on Instagram first, it goes to Facebook, but it won't go to Facebook if it's copyrighted.
Your watermark.
No, if it's copyrighted, music.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if Facebook rejects the copyrighted music for whatever reason.
Just a way around that, if you ever use a song, go look it up in like the reels on Instagram. Like if that song is there, then you're good to go.
The trending ones?
Like,
Or-
no,
As
like,
opposed to going to your
like,
Spotify.
so you're not using a copyrighted sound or a song. If it's on the Instagram app for you to use in a video, like to post through your reels, it's good to go on Facebook and Instagram. Because it's owned by the same company, and they already straightened those songs to be deemed to be used on those platforms.
So that's actually a good segue into some quick reels 101. Everyone's always asking me, how do you make the words? Here it is, people. So I need everyone to pull out their phone and get on Instagram. You don't have to actually make a reel right now, but let's just walk through it together. So if you just go to your like home timeline thingy, right? Everyone know how to find the reels on Instagram? Everyone knows that little button there at the bottom?
So I.
Lose. Do you know where the button is? Don't be lost. We're just on the home page of Instagram. Yeah, there you are, there you are. There you are. Okay, so we all know that if you click this third button in, it's like in the middle, that's your Reels tab. Let me just be real fast. We know that, we knew this. Do we all know how to find trending audio? Okay.
Everybody's.
And if anyone on Zoom land has questions, please feel free to unmute, because I know you can't see my phone, but let me know, okay? So the way you find a trending audio, there's 2 ways, okay? First of all, you have to have a creator or business account. It's Christmas time, y'all. Are we skipping straight?
Everyone's skipping on Thanksgiving.
I know, that's rude. If you don't have a creator or business profile, you can't use these audios. You can see these, but you can't use them. So that's step 1 on why you should have a creator. I say creator, because on business, it doesn't let you use all of these. So if you look at the very first thing you're looking at, on the very bottom, like almost like it's touching this like little bar where you can go back to your home, there's the name of the audio that's playing on that reel that you're looking at.
Okay.
Does anyone see like an arrow pointing to the right next to their audio? Nod or give me a thumbs up. You don't see one?
If you don't select the next video until you see one.
And we'll talk about why you don't see one.
Okay,
Do you start?
I don't see the arrow. I just see, yeah.
You don't see an arrow?
Select for another video.
It's right there.
Please select-
Wait for it. I'll tell you why you're not seeing it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna professional counsel then.
But I see it now, sometimes I see like, I see it on this one, but I see it on this one.
All right, Luz, let's talk about why. The first video that popped up on your reels may or may not have been using a trending audio. The only way you know if it's trending is if it has that arrow. Sometimes people just use audios that aren't trending, and that's okay, and then it just has like the little music note or like 3 dots, right? So you know how to find trending audio by just scrolling through, like all of these online trending, all of them, arrows. And when you start liking things on Reels, it's just like TikTok, it's gonna start showing you more things similar to that. So I suggest that you go and like things that speak to you and like my Reels, so they pop up on your timeline more often, but also so that you see more real estate related content. Or if you're a lender created like based content, or if there's anyone on here who's not an agent or a lender, your business, insert your business here, type content, okay? So that's one way you find trending audios. Yes, it involves you scrolling through, watching videos, listening to it. Kind of a pain, but it's also kind of fun. And Instagram's making you do what Instagram makes you want. They want you to do is scroll. They want you to scroll, right? The other way you can find trending audio, stick with me here. Does everyone know how to get to making a reel? Okay, if we go back to our homepage. Homepage, at the top right corner, there's like a plus with a circle around it or a square. You see that button?
Yeah.
Click that button for me. And it should, oh look, Ryan and John took a selfie on my phone. It's gonna go straight to, you see on the bottom where it says post, story, reel, or live. See those? If you wanna make a reel, scroll over 2 times to the reel tab. Are we all there? Are we following?
No.
You lost?
Yeah. So you said,
Mhm.
click on this?
Mhm. And then-
Oh, down here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then yes.
Everyone found it?
I'm only getting post on story.
John, I mean, Kevin, it's because you're not a professional or creator account.
I said this is my business account.
Oh.
You don't see.
You don't have real? Do you need to update your app?
I got my app, yeah, I can create. But I don't know why it's not showing.
Everyone else sees it?
You don't see these.
Everyone else sees real?
Yeah, that's. Oh, it's.
He has it.
I'm sorry, he's got the 2012 version. I had to update it.
Maybe. Okay, we're all there. We found it here. Where it's, I think y'all are looking at yourselves on my phone, right? Okay, you see the button, the very top button on the right side is the music note. Do you all see the music note?
Yeah.
Click it for me. It's gonna pop up a list of trending audios. So if you're like, oh, I wanna make a cool reel to that sweet Taylor Swift song that everyone's using right now.
Oh, I don't know.
There it is. But on here, you can also access your Apple Music or Spotify. You can link them. So you don't have to use trending audio. You can use whatever song makes you dance in the car,
So
whatever.
any of these, I can use them.
Yeah, you can use anything, but those are trending, right? There's either an arrow when you're looking through reels, there's an arrow. Or when you open the music tab on reels, they're all like right there on that screen. You know where the music button is?
One of these top left.
Mason.
Yeah.
That's a Spanish.
Which was,
I get a lot of the CD songs every time I look at it.
yeah, because a lot of these songs, they're gonna be trending for a long time. Yeah, and they might be different than yours, then, yeah, what's the first song on your list?
Made you love one.
Yeah.
Yes. Because it's so long ago that I forget, but if you haven't connected your reels to Spotify or Apple Music, just Google it. I'm sure there's someone who's already made a video about how to do it. I forget.
That up, here's the little arrow.
Here's the thing, on here, it doesn't need the arrow because it's telling you it's trending.
Oh, okay. These days it's trending.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it? That's either not recording.
Are you on a creator? You are?
The giant arrow.
So it's fixing on. Is your Apple Music connected? Let's keep moving so I can get some money.
Yeah, we gotta get to that.
Yeah, all right, let's keep moving so I don't wanna take longer than the hour I told you it would take. But connect your Spotify or Apple Music, so you can get these trending songs, and you can use whatever song you want. As long as it's deemed okay by Facebook and Instagram, that most are, right? So, sorry.
How do you connect with them again?
I can't remember. I did it so long ago. Google it. If you just Google it, I'm sure someone has a video of the step-by-step how to connect, but I'm forgetting how I did it originally. But you can do it very easily. I remember it not being a problem.
If you go into your settings, there's like an option that says linked.
Thank you, Emily. In your settings, there's a linked accounts button. Okay, so that's how we find trending audio. We all know how to use Reels to make a video, right? You just click this button right here. You can change the time. Is it gonna be 90 seconds, 15 seconds, 30? Right? There's all these things. If you don't know how to use these, take time and mess around and use them, okay? Figure them out. It's just click around. You don't have to post whatever you make, just click around and make something, all right? I'm gonna have everyone just take a quick video of what me or the floor or whatever, because I want to show you how to make the bubbles pop up. So you can make a little pointy reels, okay? All right, so everyone just take like a quick video of, I'm just gonna take video of all of you people. That's your fantastic.
Here, like.
On Reels, yes, ma'am. Look at all of you. Smile. Beautiful. Okay. You have a video? Everyone has a video? Yes, happy to flash someone.
Okay, oh, I didn't.
Okay, everyone has a video?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about how we add words. We all know how to add, a lot of us know how to add words, right? We know how to just click the screen and it'll allow you to click next so you can see your video.
Okay, we're not.
Add text. Are you at the part where it says you can Right. click next and it should take you to your video that you just took.
Okay.
Okay,
So share your reels on Facebook.
we went too far, can we go back?
Yeah, like the, okay, so my way.
Okay, we're all here?
Yes.
All right, at the very top, there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little buttons, right? The AA is how you type words, like that. And just like type some jibber jabber, so I can show you how to make that jibber jabber pop up. Okay, but you can, when you're in here typing, you can change the color of the words, you can change the text, like the font. So click around at those things in your own time, but just type something and the way it shows up, just keep it, all right? And click done, so it shows up on your video screen. Everyone's following? Okay, you see how at the bottom, the word that you typed on the screen are in like a little gray oval? Okay, click that gray oval. That gray oval shows you how long that text is popping up on your video. If you use there's 2 white bars with little black lines through them at the front and the back, you can move when and where these words pop up, right? So when you're doing these little pointy things that we all like to do, you can type as much as you want, put your stickers on it, whatever, and then you use these 2 little bars at the bottom to time when it shows up. Oh my gosh, no way. That's it. So you're gonna, right now I can't play the music, but you would listen to the music, and line it up with the beat. Take some time, but you'll get it, just practice, okay? Does that make sense? Does that help with, I know Kathy says like.
Well, I learned that months ago.
You're, yeah, you're.
You're a pro now.
Thank you, sir. What do you think about that? You have questions?
I'll figure it out.
Okay, we can talk. Okay, I'm gonna keep going because I wanna, like I said, stay true to your 1 hour, but that's how you put words on the screen. That's how you
So,
dictate when they pop up.
so then how would you add more words?
Just
Text
click the
box,
AA again.
do it again?
Yeah, you can literally put as many words as you want and as many fonts as you want, colors, like whatever floats your boat. So exciting, isn't it? Okay. We got it? We're good there? This makes sense and it's helpful. Give me a thumbs up and a nod. Thank you. All right, cool. Okay, so that's just a little bit of Reels 101. If there's something you want to do on Reels that you don't know how to do, Google it. Someone's made a video. It's on YouTube. They'll walk you step by step, or come hang out with me. I sit in there every day and I do my work, and you can bother me then. All right. Sound good? We're good? All right, cool. Okay, let's move on to the other C we're going over today, which is conversation, which we all know this is where the money is. You're not talking to people as a business owner, you're not making money because people don't come to you, right? People want to be come to, and they want to be asked and given value and poured into before they're like, oh yeah, right? they're not just gonna, a lot of people are, they're nervous, we know this as agents, especially as agents, they're like, oh, so annoying, they're just trying to sell me. Right, and we know, we're just being fiduciaries, we want you to know you can buy a house in this market, and it's okay, right? But just trying to sell me, right? So conversation, posting content is not enough. You have to do something with the content. You have to ask people to interact with it. What do I mean by that? Being the conversation starter. Next, please. Here are some of the other things that I do consistently on Instagram to create conversation. I use the polls feature on stories. We all know how to post a story. We all know what a story is.
Yeah.
It's that little thing at the top, your bubble, right? When I post a reel, I'm not just gonna post the reel and be like, okay, hope someone sees this. Nope, I'm gonna take that reel and I'm gonna stick it up on my story. And I'm gonna put one of these little polls on it. And I'm gonna say, like I posted one today. My post today was about, my job isn't to convince you to not be a renter, it's to help you move forward out of that. So I put it up on my story and on the poll, I said, are you thinking about the transition from being a renter to a homeowner? Yes or no? And people love to give you their opinion. Yes or no, people love these things. And at first, no one responded to my polls and I was kind of embarrassed. Now, like on this one, where I posted this backsplash that was really, people love to vote about these things. I had 72 people vote for, oh, hell no. 72 people interacted with my story about this backsplash.
Like how you, but that's a no for me, dog.
See? You talk to people the way they talk, right? So I do these stories, and like this one I posted yesterday, it's a little meme that said, my parents spent 20s, time for us to take a loan on our new house. Me in my 20s, time for me to take a loan out for Domino's tonight. And I was like, the feel and my two things were 100% or so funny, it also makes me cry. And I had, didn't say the number on here, but I had, 50 people vote for one or the other, right? 50 people are looking. So I use the polls on my story and also the question, which we'll look at next, to, what are you laughing at?
Pay over 6 weeks on the pizza.
Well, lots of stuff. I use this to see who's paying attention to me and who wants to do something. I put these polls up like, are you looking at Zillow, Redfin, blah, 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 to look for houses? 25 people said yes. 25 people, I didn't know were looking at Zillow.
Damn, that is so good.
And you know what I did? I posted this in the morning. I made a reel about why you shouldn't look at Zillow, or what, why you should be cautious of looking at Zillow for homes. And then I DM'd it to every single person who voted on this poll.
Genius.
So I use my content to create conversation. It's not just going up on my Instagram and I'm going, oh, hope somebody watches this. When you directly send it to someone, hey, I saw your vote on my poll. Are you looking for a house? Here's a couple of tips about looking at Zillow for a home. People love it. Oh, I'm just browsing, I like looking at it. You just start talking to them, right? People are watching. People want to know what's going on, right? Everyone wants to buy a house one day or sell a house or have a big, ginormous mansion. So they're looking at Zillow. Talk to them about that.
Okay, so Lauren,
Yes.
on that one that you're talking about.
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
Like you've got 3 or 4, whatever, different things. So are they multiple reels strung together?
Oh, these are screenshots of my,
No, the pink one though, the one you're talking about, the Zillow one. Up at the top, I can tell you've got multiple things.
oh, so
Strung
here,
together, yeah.
so it's my story. So that day that I posted that, I had other things on my story. It's not a reel, it's
Not
a,
necessarily related. That's-
not necessarily related, not necessarily
So
related.
everything you posted in the spring deck.
Instagram will keep it up for like 24 hours.
Yeah, stories stay for 24 hours. And so I put these polls up, and here's the most important thing, I'm glad you said that. Gotta look and see who voted, because Instagram used to save the data of who looked at it, but they have since taken away that feature. So you know what I do? I screenshot. Before I go to bed, I screenshot them, and then when I wake up before it's about to go away, I screenshot them again, so I know who I'm DMing. I use this as, who am I talking to today? Every person who responded to my poll. That's how I know who I'm talking to. And a lot of times I'm talking to the same people. I'm creating connection and friendship with these people. They're looking at me as someone they like, know, and trust because I'm asking them about their life. Hey guys, what's going on? You like this backsplash? Are you looking at Zillow? Would you live in a condo on the 3rd floor of 5, right? They're giving you their opinion, and I go, these things like, you like this shower, which this was the video I took a screenshot of, people love that stuff. They wanna give you your opinion, they wanna look at nice houses that they can't necessarily afford, but they're fun to look at, right?
To learn on that Zillow one, you're
Yeah.
saying. You basically DM'd each one of those people and said, hey, I did a video on the cautions of Zillow. or
I sent them the video,
Okay,
DM'd them the video,
Right,
because if you say.
just the
"Oh,
video, you didn't say anything with it? Right,
But
okay,
you
that's what,
looked at the video.
that's what
Look at the video
I'm
first.
imagining, that's what you said, though, like, take a look and let me know what you think, or are you asking them for some follow-on action?
No, I sent it, and I said, I saw your vote in my poll, while you're looking at Zillow, keep these things in mind. Oh, and by the way, are you searching for a house? And
Okay,
then
so you are
they're like,
asking. them.
Everything's about taking the conversation and converting it into a client, or putting them in my database as a nurture. I've got, at this point, it feels like a bajillion of them, because people are interacting.
Okay.
Yes.
When
Can I-
do
can I-
you use
Yes.
a story versus a reel?
I,
Use them together, 5 minutes.
thank you, here's the thing. I think that people will look, my people who are looking at me, look at stories. They look at reels, but if I'm gonna post 5 reels a day, they're unfollowing me. I could post 80 stories and I would have people unfollow me, but the people who want to click through and see what I'm talking about will. So stories allow me to post more content in a day and it disappears after 24 hours. So it's not like this nagging, like, here's Lauren again, another reel. Oh, here she is with another post. Here's another, this, and this is normal for the way my people would use social
And you
media.
edit them the same way.
No, it's a little different. And I'm realizing maybe I should have done a slight tutorial on how to use stories.
Oh, that's another.
So there's a part 2 to this. apparently.
Yeah.
Let's see the next one, because I use polls and then I use this question feature. Y'all, I love this thing. I love it. The people who care and they want to have their question asked, they want the answer, they want to interact with you, are gonna respond to your question. Polls are easy. Yes or no? Yeah, I like it. No, I don't. That's a way for me to gauge and still also talk with people. But the people who respond here, I'm like, oh, have questions? Good. Good. I can even get into a deeper conversation with you. Sometimes they have nothing to do with real estate. I think there's a nice fine balance. Don't be a one note. Talk about other stuff. Here's a picture of me and my boyfriend. I said, what are some fun fall activities you're doing? Because we had just gone to Great Country Farm. I want to know what people are doing. I want to be their friend. I want to be involved in their life. This is how I do it. By asking them, hey, what's going on in your life? Right? So use this question feature. Like this one is, what questions do you have about the housing market? And there's a couple of people who respond, but I cherish those couple of people who respond, right? If you're currently browsing, what are you looking for? I'm like, God, people, I want a townhouse with that cool upper deck thing on the roof and blah, blah, blah. Oh, are you looking to buy that now? What's your timeline? What are you worried about? What are your, right? It allows me to have those conversations. And it's okay if they're not ready to go right now. Probably not. They're dreaming. Good. Let me be part of your dreaming. Me and you are gonna walk together from dreaming in your DMs to closing on the home. That was good. Man, that's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt. I
Flip it.
can work that.
It's too late. It's not-
Okay,
Oh.
questions or thoughts about using these? I know the mechanics of it
2 minutes.
might be, thank you, a little confusing, but
I know you hate your database, but how do you take them from, you keep them there, or do you move them there, or how do you do it?
That's a big mistake.
let me clear that. I don't hate my database. I love my database so much. I hate the task of taking them from my Instagram DMs and putting them into my CRM. It makes me want to scream. I hate it. I really hate it. Guess what I learned? Gotta do it, girl. What do you have them in your DMs for? How do you know? How do you know when to follow up with them? Like, oh gosh, I messaged that guy in like 3 weeks. I think he's like, no. I'm in Brivity, whatever your CRM is. Put your tasks, stay up to date. I'm thankful that we have virtual assistants that I can say, hey, this person DM'd me today. Can you throw them in my database and set a task for this date? I just started doing that. It was not. So I treat Instagram as my database, but I have to have another place to remind myself to follow up with all these nurtures that I'm getting.
Yep.
Okay, does that answer the question? You have another one?
No, that was great.
Thank you.
Who's your virtual assistant on our team? We
Yeah,
need an EA.
database at thecosgroup.com.
Okay.
My girl.
I love that.
Okay. This is the last couple of slides and then we'll have time for questions. I appreciate all of you guys being here today. Okay, here's what I'll tell you. It's gonna start off slow. People are not, you're not gonna get 1,000 likes on your first reel. You're just not. You're not gonna have 75 people telling you that they like that backsplash or not at first. But if you make people part of the story, of the journey, of everything, they're gonna show up. They're gonna keep, oh God, here goes Lauren again with backsplash. I gotta vote, right? They're invested. I voted on every other backsplash. I had people, you tell stories, you wrote people in, and the way you keep them is by interacting back with them. I don't just expect people to interact with me. I respond to their stories too. They post a cute picture of their dog. They post something about, oh, I went on vacation. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I love traveling. Where is this? Interact with them too, right? You don't just expect it to you. And that's what wrote people in. Well, she's invested in me and I'm invested in her. Right? And it's gonna start off slow though. That's all right. Just keep doing it. Don't be afraid. People are not judging you. They're probably like, oh, what is this? People who don't care will unfollow you. Whatever, bye. I don't need you anymore.
You
Right?
want to work with somebody who wants to unfollow you anyhow, so.
I think in their right time, they come back. Okay. Number two, people cannot ignore you. You're constantly in their face. They just can't. I go out, I'm like out in Arlington, me and my friends, and people are like, I'm like, thank you. They can't ignore it. Even outside of Instagram, in real life, when I am not in the professional setting, they're telling me, I'm watching you. They can't ignore me. I'm always there. I'm consistent. I'm talking about things that no one else is talking about to them. Think about this. I said this to Rob. You might be the only agent someone follows. Okay? Think that you are the only agent that anyone follows of your sphere. So post everything. Be consistent. Because if you're not posting it, they're finding someone else. Be the person. It doesn't have to be perfect. I realize that. There's like, oh, of course, there's other people who are doing it better than me. But guess what? My sphere doesn't follow them. So they don't know that. They know how I'm doing it. Maybe they'll find someone else, and that's fine. But post doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be the most beautiful content, aesthetically pleasing. Just post the damn thing. Just post it, okay? Be consistent. People will start to recognize. It takes time, but they do. Okay? And then don't be afraid to reach out, make friends. Think about all these people who are responding to you, interacting with you as your friends. If you treat them like they're a sale, they feel it. They know it. Right? I've made the mistake. I've had people be like, I pretty much know what you're doing. Stop. So it's scripting. It's being personable, right? You make mistakes and people are like, I don't want to talk to you. Fine. That's fine. Someone else does. Someone else will. Okay? As long as you are talking to people as your friend, as their friend. Not as, hey, you're a sale, you're money in my pocket. Let's not keep the real estate agent stereotype going of all we want is commission. Blah, blah, blah. No. I want you to move your life forward too. Just like I want mine to move forward. Right? But you come before me. We're friends. Does that make sense? Okay. Any questions about that? Okay, tips for being consistent. Make a plan. Here is my Sunday to Saturday content plan. On Sundays, I'm supposed to be posting about first-time homebuyer. Well, guess what, y'all? Haven't done it yet. Sometimes I post about first-time homebuyers on Tuesday. I've written this down. And I just now you've got to follow it because it takes a lot of the guesswork out of what am I posting today? Who am I talking to today? Right? So take this, flip it around the way you want it. That makes sense to you, right? On Fridays, I'm talking about agent-focused things. Okay, I gotta get better at that. If that doesn't make sense for you on Fridays, then don't post it. Right? But use this. Make a plan. Batch content. Make a whole bunch. Edit it, stick it in your drafts. Make long videos and pay someone to chop it up. Not that expensive. You can do it. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. And Instagram just rolled out that you can schedule posts. God bless them. If I miss a day, y'all know that I'm being lazy. I can literally schedule for the next 75 days my posts. All I have to do is make them, write the caption, and set the timer. I mean, y'all should pay 365. This should happen yesterday, so. No, it's for posts. For pictures, reels, everything.
Stories.
I don't know what story.
Yeah.
Okay, and remember, again, Perfection is the enemy of progress. Your first video is gonna be ugly. In 10 years, you're gonna look back and be like. That's how I feel about that one. I posted that took me 6 hours. But you know what? I'm like, man, look where I am now. It's awesome. So just post the thing, post the page, post the reel. Yes, ma'am.
Do you, where do you get your content? Do you look at everyone else's and say, oh, that looks?
Will you go back to that slide? I think you might have missed this slide. Go back a couple. You're fine. Here's what I say.
This one?
Keep going, keep going. This one, go back. Go. Okay.
Oh,
What do I put? Here's what this one, I think is the biggest game changer. The basics that we, just every day is so easy for us. A lot of people, it's not easy for them, but they don't know it. They're not talking about it every day. So remember the basics. When you don't know what to post, in R&D, watch other people's stuff. And if you really like what they do, make it yours. Post the same thing. Because here's the thing, what a mortgage is, isn't someone's private knowledge. That's what, we all know that. Okay, so just post it. Someone else might have posted it, made it look so nice and beautiful, and you want to do it too. God damn it, do it. Whatever, right? Does that make sense? And here's the other big one. If you watch a video, while you're making a video, think, would I spend the time to watch this? Think about how your people, your followers, or whomever would interact with this video. Think about if you were them. Does that make sense? Okay. Any other questions? Because that was my last slide. It's just questions and where are.
Lauren, how many pieces of content have you committed to for 2023?
Put her on the spot.
I have committed to posting 10,000 pieces of content in 2023. Now, this isn't all going to be on Instagram. Only a mere 10,000. And what I count as content, reels, posts, stories. I went through, I don't have it right now, but I counted it all up and I said, here, Rob, so far this year, this is how many pieces of content I posted on Instagram. He said, whoa, that's amazing, right? Okay, now what are you gonna do next year? And I was like, oh, I said 5,000. He's like, that's not scary enough. I said, so in 2023,
What we found was it was 1,000 pieces of content had created, what, like 15 or 16 transactions? Is that what it was?
yeah, so,
Yeah.
40% of my appointments this year have come directly from Instagram. And then 30% of my closed transactions are from my clients that I've converted from Instagram. In 2023, what year is it gonna be next? I want those numbers to be like more than half. This is what I'm committing to. This is my one thing.
Once you understand the numbers, then you just extrapolate it out and say, okay, I understand. this.
Just many DMs.
and then again, 5,000 posts created how much of your business?
It wasn't quite 5,000. I think last time I counted it all up was like 1,500 or something, and that was right after mega camp. So it's been a few months, but so far this year, it's 40% of my appointments, 30% of my closings. Hopefully that 30% is a little more as I put more people under contract.
Yeah, because you did it not on purpose. Like what happens is, it's like when you're in the beginning, you do it and you're like unconscious confident.
By default.
By default. You're just doing it. And then eventually you become consciously confident, right? And you do it on purpose, which is the stage you're at now, which blows it up.
Ava raised her hand. Ava?
Yes, Ava?
Hi, Lauren. Thank you so much for this training. It's amazing. You make it so simple, right? And for some of us, I'm like a Facebook user, right? I had Facebook for a while, and I can identify with some of the people who are like, hey, I use Facebook the most, but I also know that Instagram, puts you out there, it puts you more in front of people than Facebook does. And I had a question for you. I had my business account on Facebook linked to my business account in Instagram. Now, if I switch to the creator side, I noticed that it keeps kind of like the same information I had on my page. It just allows me to do more things. Is that correct?
Yes, double check on does it stay connected? I would assume yes, because Facebook and Instagram are married.
Right.
Okay, Graham just confirmed yes, that's.
Okay, perfect. So if I'm posting on my personal Facebook, I'll be able to also have this posted on my creator account that now I switched to on Instagram. Is that correct?
As long as the other way around.
It was doing it already. I just want to make sure that if I switch it to the creator one, that I still able to post on my Facebook and then it will transmit to the Instagram.
I think that it's the other way around. It's
The other way
Instagram to Facebook.
Okay,
Your posts have you can share your posts from Instagram on a Facebook, but Facebook isn't gonna take your post and shoot it on the Instagram.
oh, okay. All right, so I'm gonna play around with it, definitely.
Play around with it. Google it. I keep saying this, like literally someone's made a video about that exact thing because someone else had that question about Instagram, Facebook and all this stuff. So Google it, watch some videos and all of that. But yeah, you can share between, it's usually Instagram, Facebook. And if you switch, it's okay.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So you have your Instagram account and most of that is organic leads that you're getting, because I know that you have like friends and stuff from like high school who, you know, found you on there. Have you like reached out to your Facebook community or, you know, the people that you know prior to doing this about your Instagram accounts, and have they started? How did you get them to follow you back?
So Instagram personally has been something that I use and my spirit's been using for a very long time. So when I made my separate home with Lauren, I literally just followed everyone who follows my personal page, which like I said was kind of silly. Anyway, what I think you could do, maybe if your people aren't as Instagram savvy, is just make sure everything's being shared to both. It's okay to take the same thing you post on Instagram and throw it on Facebook, or on Facebook and throw it on Instagram. It's gonna be maybe a little different format, but you can always put in your caption, follow me on Instagram for more, follow us on Instagram for more.
I guess it's because, you know, so I have my Insta with the business Facebook account, not my personal.
Okay,
So
so
that's where I struggle. It's like, what do I share on? Like,
sharing your business Facebook stuff on your personal Facebook will lead people from personal Facebook to business Facebook, and then keep encouraging them to go farther. Or follow them first. Follow them first. Yes.
I want to say like a little, you kind of backdoor other people. So say there's like another realtor at a different brokerage that has a pretty easy following on Instagram. Go follow everybody that follows it.
Don't you dare follow my followers. See, but you can't steal my followers.
Other broker. So yeah.
Any other questions? I know it's 12, like 10,
Yeah, I know. We need to give the room up here in a couple of
like
minutes.
5 minutes. We have another meeting. Anything else that I can answer if you guys.
Very, very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for everybody in Zoom land. Thanks for being here. I will stop recording and end the meeting now.
Guys, if anyone's hungry.